Well, hi there folks, it's Matt Hayson here reporting on our property market, and it is a massive week for property. I'm going to start with property price prediction backflipping, which started with ANZ at the beginning of the week, who were initially predicting that property values around the country would decline by up to 10% this year. Now that's been quite inaccurate, but they're now suggesting that property values will increase in 2021 by up to 9%. It was then HSBC's turn, who were initially suggesting that property values next year would decline by up to 7%. They've now backflipped and are suggesting values could increase by up to 4% next year. Now, it's been a really interesting battle unfolding around what would happen with property prices. On one side of the equation, we had the economic impact from the pandemic, which led to high unemployment, low wage growth and low immigration. Now, that was versing government stimulus and a very low interest rate environment. Now, certainly the latter has won the day, and as we know right now, capital city values for November are all increasing around the country, including Melbourne, which is up 0.3%, despite going through the most severe lockdown in the world. Now, we thought that was pretty positive news for the property market, and then out came the state budget, and it could be bye-bye to stamp duty. Now, stamp duty's always been referred to as a fairly terrible, inefficient tax, and it seems as though the government also agrees. That's why they're looking at measures to give purchasers the option to axe the upfront stamp duty and prefer to go for a smaller annual land tax. Now, the land tax would be a fixed amount plus a rate applied to the unimproved land value. If a purchaser decides to use that particular system, that system would remain with the property for life. The theory being, for the state government, this is a 50-year plan to streamline the tax and give them a more reliable income for budgeting purposes. But for a purchaser, particularly around our marketplace, where stamp duty can be $50,000, $100,000 or more, being a major impost around moving before you may prefer to do so. So this tax is proposed to come into play in the second half of 2021. So then we turn our attention to our local market, where last Saturday we had 10 from 10 auction successes. We saw an average of 12% above the initial guide, so the market's certainly on the move. We also had an average of 26 buyers attending our open home inspections. Now, we last saw that back in the peak of the market in 2017. That's what's interesting about the market at the present time. We're actually seeing buyer demand increasing as we go deeper into November, when normally we'd start to see the market wind back a little bit. So what we're really seeing right now is things setting up for a fairly explosive start to the first quarter in 2021. So folks, plenty going on around the market, and we've got some great properties open for inspection. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you all next week.